Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carole Turnbo. I am a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I am a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a mama, I'm a CrossFit coach, I'm a CrossFit Masters athlete, but my passion is nutrition and my passion is teaching people that food really does heal the body. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from myself and some of my teammates. We've all joined on a mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple and it's going to continue to be simple because it's food. It's food that our body needs on a daily basis. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables into a capsule. Amazing concept. So I'm going to start here with our fruit, our vegetable, and our berry blend, our purple, our green, and our red bottles. Our fruit and our vegetable and our berry blend are 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule. They are better than organic, non-GMO, picked at the peak of ripeness with an NSF seal of approval. And what that means, that is what is in the product is on the label. For instance, this is our vegetable label. I know you can't read it, but I'm going to read it for you. On the label, it says broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, beet, spinach, cabbage, lemon peel, rice bran, and kale. My favorite part of our label is this right here. It's a nutrition label. They only put nutrition labels on food because this is food in a capsule, like I said earlier. So that's what really got me interested in the Juice Plus products, because it's just food and our body needs it. We also have our orange bottle, which is our omega blend. Our omega blend is a full spectrum of plant-based omegas, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. We've all heard of omega-3s and we all need, know that we need to get our omega-3s. Well, omega-3s come from fish. Fish eat algae to get the omega. So instead of using the fish, we cut out the middleman, the fish, went straight to the source, the algae, and ours is, like I said earlier, a completely vegan form of omegas with algae oil, pomegranate seed oil, tomato seed oil, and more. Okay. We also have our complete protein powder, comes in chocolate and vanilla. Once again, vegan product. Completely plant-based. I love it. I can't go a day without these. I honestly crave them. If you've ever tried one, you're going to crave them too. We have our complete bars, and then we have a tower garden, my favorite thing on earth. I love my tower garden. I've had it for a little over a year now. So I live in Indiana. So I've been through a summer cycle last year, but the most amazing thing in the world to me was that I got to bring it into my house in October, and I got to grow my herbs and my lettuces and broccoli and Brussels sprouts all winter long. I could walk from my kitchen table to my hallway, pick my produce that I needed to make for that meal, and I had fresh produce all winter long. It's now back out on the back porch, growing all kinds of things as well. So anyway, our tower garden is an aeroponic growing system that grows up. It waters itself. It has lights so that it can have sunshine for itself. So plug it in and walk away, and it grows so nicely. Love my tower garden. Like I said, we are going to be sharing all kinds of stories tonight, and I'm going to start with Cheyenne Chernov. She's a national marketing director that's been with the company for 15 years, and she's brought her team of people to share their Juice Plus product story and their business story with us tonight. So welcome, Cheyenne. Can unmute. You're muted, hi.
There I go. Okay.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Carole. I love the way you got all of that in 2 minutes. I have to learn how to do that. I love my tower garden too. Oh my God, 10 years ago when they rolled it out onto the stage. This was not in my story tonight, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So my husband looked at me, we're at conference, and he says, "You're not going to get one of those, are you?" And I went, "Well, if I'm going to share it, I need to at least know how to work it." And it's 10 years. That's my baby. I love it. Tonight I made the most delicious salad from it. So yeah, Juice Plus and Tower. It's like the winning ticket. So anyway, so good evening, everyone. I am really happy to be with you tonight and share my story and for you to meet some of my amazing partners. As Carole said, I'm almost 15 years. Actually, October will be my 15th year anniversary with the Juice Plus business, and saying yes to Juice Plus and this amazing business opportunity was truly the best decision I could have made. My background is actually art education, and I taught for 11 years in New York City. However, punching a time clock and being confined to a classroom for 6 hours and 20 minutes, 5 days a week, was not my dream job. After retiring from teaching, I focused on painting, which was my true love, and eventually started my own hand-painted clothing line, which really became pretty successful. However, the only problem was I was the sole person responsible for the designs, the production, the shipping, the collection of monies. And after 5 years, I was burnt out. And one of the most attractive things to me when I really looked at Juice Plus as the business opportunity, they did it all for me. All I had to do was share. So it was like a win-win. So at the time, my husband and I were ready for a change. And I'm going back about 30 years now, but I'm not going to tell you how old I am. And Arthur, my husband, had accepted a position in Aventura, Florida. So leaving New York City behind, off we went on a new adventure. And things were running really smoothly until I was diagnosed with severe osteoporosis in my early 50s. It was not what I expected to hear. And I was actually mortified to have that doctor tell me that diagnosis. I thought I was so healthy. I was leading yoga classes. I was facilitating women's spirituality groups. I was helping to build a spiritual community in South Florida. And the last thing I expected was that inside my body, something was going wrong. So after 5 years of being on the medication and my bones were not improving, I started to pray for something natural to come into my life that would really help me, heal me, and get me off the medications. So to backtrack a little bit, Juice Plus was actually introduced to me 20 years ago. But I said no, because at that time I thought I was cool, I was healthy. I didn't know that something else was going on inside my body. However, 5 years later, after being diagnosed and being on medication that was hurting me and not helping me, when Juice Plus reappeared, I said yes. And I also joined as a distributor at the same time because I figured, okay, I'll get my product at a little discount. But I really didn't think I was going to do the business. The day that my Juice Plus arrived, I threw out the medication and I used myself as a guinea pig. I'm not telling anybody else to do this, but I figured I had nothing to lose because my bones were not in good shape and they weren't getting better anyway. A year later, after taking Juice Plus religiously every year, I went back for my bone density test, and lo and behold, my bone density went up on Juice Plus, not on the medication. Not only that, but my energy level was up. I was feeling happier. And you know, when you're happier and you're feeling better, you kind of like, your friends say to you, what's going on with you? And I started to share Juice Plus and tell my friends what I was doing. And my business really started to grow organically. At that point, I started to look at the business seriously because my husband's position was eliminated after the company was bought by another company. And that was a real wake-up call. And I said to myself, you know what? If I just put a little more effort into my Juice Plus business, I think I could actually add tremendous financial value for our retirement. Because at that point, we were like well into our 50s and retirement was like kind of right around the corner. And I wasn't trusting the traditional job markets anymore. So originally, where I wasn't looking at residual income, I was just looking at the short-term financial gains. I then started to understand the value of having a business that would give you residual income. And it made a lot of sense to me. And I was already loving sharing Juice Plus. So it was easy for me to like transition from just sharing Juice Plus to really looking at it as, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. I'm helping myself, I'm helping other people, and I'm creating an income. So in the very beginning, all I wanted to do was really just get my friends on Juice Plus. Everybody I met, I was sharing. And by the end of that first year, I had almost 100 personal customers. So my business was really growing, but it wasn't growing because I was like really trying to grow a business. I was trying to help people. At that point, Chris Droves had said to me, you know, if you really want to build a business, you need to build teams. And I kind of brushed her off and I said, all I want to do is get people on Juice Plus. However, Chris was right. I needed to build teams if I wanted to truly build a business. And I just needed to be ready to do it. And with Karen Smith's loving guidance, I was really able to do it. Eventually, I did take team building seriously. And it's not only building strong teams, it's like when one person succeeds, everybody succeeds. And I love that about our business. And Barry touched on it. He said, everybody's out there to help you, and it's true. We all want everybody to succeed because there's room at the top for everybody. And another thing that I wasn't planning on saying, but I really want to put that in right now. At one point, my husband went over to Singapore to open up the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which is like the largest casino hotel in Singapore and Southeast Asia. And I would go over to visit with him. And when I did do those visits, of course, we have a global company. We're in over 26 countries. Singapore is one of the countries. So while I was there visiting with Arthur, while he was busy working, I was out there meeting people and building teams and customer base in Singapore and in Malaysia. So this opportunity is not a narrow opportunity. It's a global opportunity. And we really have an amazing product, as Carole shared, and we have an amazing company with tremendous benefits. So my teams have truly become my family, and I love them all. I'm thinking of like calling my team, instead of the wellness warriors, the wellness loving warriors, because that's who we are. We're very loving and caring. And my partners have really become part of my family, as I said, and my life is so much richer because of the extraordinary people that I have met do to this business. And that's a great lead-in to introducing you to a dear friend of mine, my best buddy and my partner, Joy Vodofsky.
Oh, thank you. That was awesome, Shy. I love you. Okay, so my name is Joy Vodofsky, and I am a certified health coach and a QNMD with the Juice Plus company for the last 14 years. I'm also a wife and a mom and a nana. And I have two beautiful granddaughters, 6-year-old Ella and 10-month-old Blake. And they are the light of my life. And I have a wonderful son as well and daughter-in-law. So I used to be an elementary education teacher and I loved it. But after I had kids, I just really didn't want to be around kids all day long. So I actually went into the clothing business, and I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. So I was selling clothes, and then I opened up a clothing store, and I actually sold workout clothes. And I did that for many, many years. And then I went through a transition in life. I went through a divorce. I moved from New York to Florida, and I opened another store. And unfortunately, my beautiful daughter, Julia, was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 10, and she passed away at 11 and a half, and that was 26 years ago. I continued on with the clothing business, but I really lost my passion. I really wasn't into like dressing women up anymore. And that clothing business that I knew, like the Jane Fonda days, you know, where they wore the leotards and the headbands and the belts and all the stuff, kind of was like going by the wayside. So my clothing business was taking kind of like a different direction. But I was really getting tired of it, and I was looking for something that I could be passionate about. So I ended up raising a lot of money for kids who have cancer with an organization called Gilda's Club, and also Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. I did some stuff for Ronald McDonald House, and I did that, and I put a lot of energy and time into it, and it was wonderful, and I did that for many years. But then I said, I really would like to find a business where I can earn some income and also change people's lives and make a difference. Where I wanted to keep my daughter's memory alive, and I wanted to give back in some way. So I actually was in another direct sales business, but I never really liked it. And Cheyenne approached me with Juice Plus, and I was taking a lot of multivitamins at the time. And I wasn't open, which is very unusual for me because I'm a very open-minded person. I'm like, no, thanks. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And she kept reaching out to me. And then it was just, I don't know what it was or what she said. I think she finally told me about the Children's Health Study, which is now the Family Starts. And she says, Joy, I'll never forget it. I was sitting on my couch. She goes, Joy, you need to take a look at this. It's right up your alley. I know you would love it. I said, okay, fine. And at that time, it was all about timing. I want everybody to know that, So at that time, I was taking a lot of multivitamins, and I was just about out of my vitamins. And I said, okay, let me check it out. And when I looked at the program, the mission of our company, that we give Juice Plus to kids free with every, with an adult order. And then I looked at all the research behind Juice Plus. And then I looked at, it's just food. It's fruits and vegetables. It's like what I already eat, but I definitely don't eat enough of. I was like, okay, this is a no-brainer. And I just said, fine, sign me up, So I became a customer and a partner on the same day. And I just jumped right in and started sharing. And, it's been I met Cheyenne actually in the women's spirituality group. And she knew me right after my daughter passed away. So, the fact that we've been able to work together as partners and sisters, and I don't know, we have, for the last 14 years, and we've been friends for, it's probably it's 25 years now, we keep losing track of time, but it's been amazing that we've been able to do this together. And Juice Plus has really benefited me tremendously with my health. I just will share my quick story about that. I used to be very constipated, and it's gotten me very regular. I don't
lost
take
it.
any medication. My doctor can't believe it. I don't care about sharing my age. I'm 66 years old, almost 67. I don't take any medication. I'm very grateful. I'm very healthy. And I used to have also a lot of back pain, severe back pain. And I mean, that's pretty much gone. Once in a blue moon, my back will act up, and that's because I've been picking up the kids. But I sleep better. I have more energy. I mean, I just overall, better sense of health and well-being. My mom was my first customer. She's 91 years old, and she's still going strong. And she has not missed a day of Juice Plus in 14 years. So, I'm really, really grateful for that. And as far as my business, my husband retired about 3 years ago. And this has been a perfect business for me, this is my retirement. So I love the time freedom, the flexibility, as Cheyenne said, the residual income. And I love that I can pick up and go visit my family and the kids in New York really anytime I want. So it's been, it's been a perfect fit for me. And I'm really passionate about, I can do my teaching, which is educating people about nutrition. And then I can also be an entrepreneur because it is a business. So I've enjoyed it, and I thank Cheyenne for introducing me to Juice Plus and all the amazing people and our team and the family that we've created in this business. And I'd like to now pass it over to Valerie.
Yes, but before we go to Valerie, I just want to say that Joy is knocking at the door of being a national marketing director. She's a qualifying national marketing director, and she's fabulous. I love her.
Thank you.
I love Valerie too. Come on, Val. Come on.
Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for the introduction. And I love these ladies too. One of my favorite aspects of being a part of this business is the community and having the extended family. It really is a really beautiful aspect. I've known these ladies for so many years, and it's unique. It's interesting because it is a business, yet there's something that's super heartfelt about it that's really, really special, that differs from anything else that I've ever experienced. And the side of this, I'm going to share a little bit about my story in a moment, but the side of this that I've found so fascinating is that everybody can be a part of this business at whatever rate and whatever comfortability works in their life. And Joy mentioned timing, and for me also, when I met Cheyenne, it was like the perfect timing. We actually met at a party for a mutual friend. It was a birthday party, and his name is Happy Z, and he has a massive, a couple hundred people get together every January 1st for New Year's Day, because that's his birthday, and we're all white. And so this was a big party, and Happy was talking with somebody about me, and he was fond of me, and so he was saying some nice things, and Cheyenne heard my name and made a beeline across the room and ran up to me and introduced herself. And she's like, "Oh my God, I've been following you on Facebook. And, I really think that everything you do is just so perfect to be a part of my Juice Plus family," and blah, blah, blah. And she was her excited, passionate self. And I was just so happy to be met by somebody so beautiful and friendly and loving. And we got to talking, and it turned out that I had been looking for something like the Tower Garden at the time to grow my own food. And I don't know if anybody's read our little bios, but my background is being a bodywork and energy therapist for 29 years. And now I have a yoga school and retreat center in Boca. But at the time I was not with IRA. I was doing my own thing, and I was doing coaching and teaching and supporting people with health and wellness. That's really been my longest background. And I wanted to grow my own food. I was living down here in Florida. I'm like, the weather's great. I really should be able to do this. But at the time I was living in a position where I didn't have my own property. And so I was afraid if I grew fruits and vegetables in my backyard and just dug up a place, that the landscaping guys would come over and spray it with pesticides and herbicides. And I was really concerned, how am I going to get around this? And I was looking at those little ones you put in the window, and she's like, oh my God, you're going to love this tower garden. So you have to come to my house for lunch. And nobody can say no to Cheyenne. So I came over for lunch, probably the next day or two, and I loved the tower. And we had a salad, and it was amazing to just pick the leaves right off of there. If you don't have one, it's so much fun. And yeah, and I was kind of sold. I was like, I definitely want one. And she's like, well, you've got to try these capsules, these fruit and veggie and berry things. And I'm like, oh no, my diet's really clean. Like, I mean, you're not going to meet somebody who eats better than me. I already, I know my stuff. I used to own a personal training studio with my ex-husband. I'm really knowledgeable. She's like, no, it's really important. You need to try. So finally, I was like, okay, fine. So I took him home. And the funny thing about me is I'm like canary in the coal mine. I'm super sensitive. So I literally felt it in the first couple of days. I'm like, wow. Okay, well, if I'm feeling a difference in my energy and my sleep quality, this is a good thing. My clients would benefit from this. And so, yeah, I just said, okay, and the interesting thing, like Joy, I had been in a direct marketing company before. I was actually, in and out of them for years, but it never quite felt like home, never quite felt like family. And this, between Cheyenne being like a sister and a second mom and a best friend, just like Joy, well, Joy didn't say like a mom, but she's been like a mom to me. It's been really just a godsend in my life. And the nice thing now, I mean, I said yes, and I haven't turned back. And the nice thing now is that the context of the world that I live in, where I have people come from all over the world to come stay with me, whether it's 2 nights, a week, 2 weeks, up until a month, we have people coming for yoga, meditation, wellness, people overcoming different illnesses. I have somebody coming who's got prostate cancer in a week for, he's going to be staying a month. I mean, all the different aspects of people in every stage of life, from teens all the way up to 70s. And so this is a really amazing compliment for me to be able to feed this to people. So we provide people, if they're not juice fasting, with 2 shakes a day, and one of them is complete. And then the other thing is, if somebody is juice fasting and they're just doing juices and water with herbs and things like that, then I give them the capsules, because I know it's going to help them repair. I know it's going to help them create what they need while they're detoxifying. And so it's just, it's a perfect complement to everything that I do. And the people who stay with us want to continue their healthy lifestyle. And that's always been my motto, is like, how do I teach somebody to integrate something into their life? How do I provide a way that somebody can learn something and then take it home so that they can create a healthy lifestyle? And so, when I learned about this, and then Jay Martin was inspiring healthy living for people all over the world, I said, oh, all right, well, that's kind of what I do. That's what I like, and to be able to build teams of people to duplicate our efforts to do it, it's brilliant. So I really love all the different aspects of this company and what it provides. I love being able to have something that gives me peace of mind, that there are days that I'm super busy and it just makes it easier to be health conscious. There's days where I'm eating really well and I'm providing everything that I need for myself, and also my stepdaughter I have now, who's grown up with this from age 8 on. And it just makes it easier. It makes it simpler. It does bridge that gap. I know that's like a catchphrase we've had for a long time, but it's truthfully the simplest thing. And I've health coached prior to being a part of this company. I've health coached with being a part of this company. And I'll tell you what, the consistency is the most challenging thing for people. And with this, people will come to our retreat and then they'll leave and then they'll call me up. I just got a phone call a day ago from somebody who's like, oh, I'm ready to do my Shred 10 now. You know, and they know that it's something they can rely on. They know it's something that supports them for the long term. And I can't tell you how many families, you know, that I've made a difference in their lives. And I feel so good about that. And I feel really confident, you know, about where this company is going. It's not going anywhere. You know, I've seen other companies in this industry come and go, and the quality is really something that's important to me. And the quality of the fact that Juice Plus makes a difference by having relationships with their farmers and having relationships with making a difference in the community. All those things like mean a lot, and they're in line with my values. And so there's like all these different aspects that are in line with, you know, what I believe is integrity when it comes to companies. I wish there was more companies like Juice Plus out there in the world, you know. And the other thing, just to end on, you know, I've been in this industry of health and wellness for a long time, and you know, I'm coming up to my 50th birthday in September. And I know that, you know, being able to use this as a product in my life has made a huge difference in my health and well-being, just to make sure that I stay really strong and overcoming, optimizing immune system and overcoming anything that I've had to overcome over the years. It's just given me the confidence that I have what I need in my life. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And I love you, Cheyenne, and Joy. You're like my friend from afar. I see you on Facebook and at our events and stuff like that. And so, you know, thank you for choosing me, Shy. I love you so much.
I will do that. So now you know why I fell in love with Valerie. I fell in love with her on Facebook, and it became like this amazing relationship. And she is like my daughter, my sister, my friend. I mean, I adore her. And so now you're going to meet somebody that I really have known ever since she was in her mom's womb. So, you know, we're going back a long time, but I won't tell you how old Erika is, but I'd love to introduce Erika Gimbel to you. Erika from the West Coast, California.
Hello, originally from New York. I'm in Long Beach right now, everybody, but I live in Oakland, California, and I'm originally from New York. So all those New Yorker accents that you've heard already tonight, I could easily have one of those New York accents and tell you all about my time over there. But right now, I'm going to tell you a quick little story, and then I get to introduce my rock star friend. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I am a psychotherapist, and I am a New York State licensed massage therapist. And I have been involved in healing and healing work since like late 80s. And so I help people with their mental health. And even better than therapy is fruits and vegetables. And I have experienced the improved health and nutrition and fitness. And I'm actually in the middle of a triathlon retreat right now where I'm teaching yoga today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And it's so much fun to be here. We're going to be competing tomorrow in an aquathlon, which means a little water, swimming, and then a run right after. And maybe I will qualify for the USA team for 2022 in Australia. So keep your fingers crossed. I'll tell you how that goes. And yeah, keep your fingers crossed, right? So this all would not be possible without that crazy plant powders called Juice Plus. I've been eating that for 12 years. I've been a partner for 11 years, and I got introduced to it from Cheyenne. Yes, I was over in Florida for a Gestalt therapy training, and I had just seen my nieces and they were all getting bronchitis. And then Cheyenne said, let's get you well. And I started to eat the plant powders for that whole year. And I didn't get sick, and I got some decreased inflammation. My allergies were completely obliterated. And I always want to have tissues because that's from my history, but I never need them now. So that's that's the healing that I've had. And then there's always other kinds of stories, like the new news story. Like that's an old story, is that my allergies have been greatly improved. But now the new news story is I play ultimate frisbee with a bunch of people in the Bay Area, and we call ourselves Hot Flash, and everyone's invited. And I am this swimmer. I've joined this swim team in my area, and I'm swimming 3, 4, 5 times a week. I'm getting little swimmer muscles here. If you ever see me and you want to touch my muscles, you got to go from the top part. That's the swimmer muscle of that arm, and that's the swimmer muscle of that arm. So I'm a swimmer, and I am doing this aquathlon, and I've done 2 triathlon sprints, and this would never be possible without all that amazing nutrition. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what's happening to my health story. It just keeps getting better. I never get sick. And I definitely had my COVID exposures. I didn't get sick. I'm so grateful. And so it just goes and goes and goes. And, you know, I am 51, and I'm not afraid to say it. And I am going to have the best 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. And I want to live to be 107 to 110. And you can too, with really good nutrition. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce somebody to you all who you may already know. If you've been on the Tower Garden Zoom with the Hicks sisters on Saturdays, I want to introduce my friend, my comrade in this fun health plant journey. That is Pastor Harold Burton. And Harold will share with you about himself, and take it away, Harold.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much, Erika, for introducing me. And thank you, Cheyenne, for inviting me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love everybody. This is a community that's really a family, and we are all coming together to share a better way to get health into us. I am Pastor Harold Burton, and I am pastor of St. Matthew's CME Church. I am an ordained minister in the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. I pastor St. Matthew's CME Church in Stockton, California, and also Lighthouse Mission CME in El Sobrante, California. I'm also a plumbing contractor. I'm like Apostle Paul. I'm a tent maker. I just make fancy tents, and in my tents, I put in plumbing. And my ministry is Healthy Conscious Living. And I got the ministry Healthy Conscious Living in April of 2019, right after my first ever Juice Plus conference that I was invited to. I wasn't even a partner yet, but I got hooked on the atmosphere there. And Healthy Conscious Living is a holistic way of bringing together like-minded individuals who are getting healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually. My story with me starts back in 2017. I mean, all my life I was learning how to have my diet, you know, through what my parents had taught me and what my family taught me, my grandparents, cousins, uncles, and we always gathered around, and food was a big part of our gatherings. And oftentimes our foods were not the most healthiest choices, but at that time I didn't know. So I had always struggled with weight loss. I would go up and down in my life. And, you know, pictures speak 1,000 words. And I just want to show you just some before pictures of who I was before. And this is me in 2017. I was in Mazatlan, Mexico with my children and family vacationing on the right. And on the left, that was me at my favorite restaurant after a worship service. I was getting my pancakes with walnuts and my chicken sausage and eggs. But I really lived to eat. That was how I saw life. And like most Americans, I mean, I really enjoyed my food. It wasn't until after we went on vacation in 2017 that I had some issues with my leg. My leg was tingling. And I got up one Sunday morning to go to church, and I noticed that it was tingling like it was asleep. And it wouldn't fully wake up. Then it would go away and then come back, which was really strange. And I kept rubbing on my leg most of that morning. And then something, as I was driving home, something in me said, call an advice nurse. And I would have never done that. I mean, I'm not even sure how that even got in my head to even think to call an advice nurse. But I called an advice nurse and said, you know, I'm not sure what's going on, but I just want to call to check it out. My leg is tingling. And she had my medical records up in front of her. And so she started asking me, you know, do I have chest pains? Is my arm hurting? Is it hard to breathe? And I'm like, no, all that's fine. And she says, well, we want you to come in and just get checked out. I said, well, okay, let me drive on home and drop off some groceries and I'll be in. He's like, oh, Mr. Burton, are you driving? Please do not drive. So for her, it was really, you know, we really want you to come in and get checked out. You know, I was hard-headed, I guess. I went on, continued to drive. I dropped off the groceries, and I drove in to the emergency room, and I called my mom, and she met me there. And it was sitting on the emergency bed in the emergency room. The nurse came in and she was taking my blood pressure. And I had high blood pressure. I always had high blood pressure. I began to think that it was just part of my body having high blood pressure. But when she released the blood pressure machine, my whole right side went numb. And it only went numb for about 10 seconds, but still, when it went numb, like, oh my God, it just went numb. And my mother looked at me, and I didn't lose muscle skills. It's just the whole sensation of feeling went. And she went out to the doctor. Doctor came back in. When the doctor came in, my right side came back. But as he was checking me out, you know, do you feel this? Do you feel this? On left and right side, it went away again. And it did this off and on for about an hour. And then all of a sudden it went away about, 7 o'clock in that evening. And it stayed numb the whole night. And that's when I realized, okay, I really need to take better care of myself. And, I was, saying, what's going on? How could this happen? But, I realized that over my years in my health, when I called myself treating myself, as far as eating, I really wasn't treating myself very well. Matter of fact, I was hurting myself. And I found I had high blood pressure. I had sleep apnea. I had a sleep machine just to sleep with. I had a bed that reclined up so I can sit up and sleep, so I can breathe. And then I had got diagnosed with an enlarged heart. So I had heart medication too. And my sister started talking to me about juicing. And I began to juice with my sister. When I was juice, I would say I probably had about, let's see here. This was my counter when I juiced. And what you see here, this is about 13 different types of fruits and vegetables. I would grind all these up in my juicing, wash them. I would put them in my refrigerator, and then when I go off on the day, I would freeze them and take them with me. And I was really enjoying juicing. But the thing with juicing was, it was a real struggle for me to keep juicing. I always felt a hunger sensation when I was juicing. Around this same time in 2018, about a year later, I met Erika Gimbel at a BNI chapter. And she had saw that I lost like 40 pounds. And she was like, wow, you look really good. I'm like, oh, thank you. What are you doing? I said, I was juicing, and I was looking at the China study. And she's, we connected with Juice Plus. I would juice and vegetables. And then she invited me to share Juice Plus. I started taking the product for myself. And at first, I really didn't notice what it was doing for me. But as I continued taking, I started realizing that those hunger pains that I had before went away. And for me, that was the kicker with me. I already enjoyed juicing. I already enjoyed juice fruits and vegetables, but I always felt like I had to eat something more besides that. When I started taking the capsules, earlier you saw I had like over 15 different types of fruits and vegetables in my juice. When you take Juice Plus capsules, you're taking 45 different types of fruits and vegetables at once, and it gets right into your bloodstream immediately, and you feel the energy. So it was a no-brainer for me because I went from taking all the medication that the doctors were giving me, all which were not designed to cure me. It was only designed to sustain me in my illness. And they told me I would need to be on this medication for the rest of my life because the medication was keeping me living. I went from taking all those different types of medications to Juice Plus. And when I take Juice Plus, I take, you know, the vegetables, the fruits, the berries, and the omega-3s. And now, instead of me feeling bloated and feeling stuffed, excuse me, when like I did back in the day when I was 340 pounds, I've lost 100 pounds. I have the energy that keeps me going. I couldn't run 3 miles in high school, and I was a football jock. Now I'm only running 3 miles. I did my first 10K in December, another 10K in January, and if my schedule allowed, I probably would have been there with Erika trying a triathlon. You know, so I'm riding my bike. I ride 30 miles when I'm riding my bike, and all this is because I'm getting the nutrients that I need in my system. You know, when I share with people Juice Plus, I'm not sharing a brand. I'm not sharing a company. What I'm sharing is my story. I'm sharing my life. And when I'm telling them, if they want what I have, try this product. It is food. It is real food, fruits and vegetables. Just like your mom told you, you know, you need to eat more fruits and vegetables. This is what we have in Juice Plus. I mean, it's fruits and vegetables in a powder form. It's a game changer. And because of that, I have all the energy now that I didn't have before. And I'm really loving life. When I work out, I feel good. I'm always taking pictures of myself. I mean, who does this? Who takes a picture in front of a produce stand? Because I love fruits and vegetables. And I'm loving life. I'm able to enjoy life now with my family more. This was in 2020, just before the pandemic, at a wedding. And all this is because I'm back to what God has given me to eat. I won't share all my slides, but I've been now studying fruits and vegetables in the Bible, and that's what God tells us to eat. Fruits and vegetables, trees, what we get from trees with fruit and seed bearing. All of this is my story. And as I share my story, they see me and they want what I have. They want the energy that I have, the excitement that I have. And they see that I'm full of life now because I'm eating life, and that comes in juice and fruits and vegetables. So if you guys haven't tried Juice Plus, but you're selling the product, you gotta try Juice Plus too, because it really changes your whole personality and makes you actually start realizing that you're not selling a product, you're selling your experience. And I shared with my mom. My mom was the first person I got on this. She is 80 years old and she enjoys it. She had cancer. She's a cancer survivor. And when I gave it to her, she went from cleaning her closet out to cleaning her whole house out. I give it to my uncles. I have my sister on it. It starts with the family and it works out beyond that. And I'm just so thankful that I went to lunch with Erika. I tried the product. I went to a conference with Erika, and I became a partner with Juice Plus because I just enjoy the product and I enjoy the environment, the people that you see at the conference. And I'm so glad that we're opening back up and we'll have a conference where we can come back together again and see everybody again, enjoy everybody again. But this is what you get when you have Juice Plus, when you take Juice Plus. It's that and more. So thank you for allowing me to share. I'm always willing to share my story because it empowers me the more I share it. And it's just amazing what we get over and what we go through, and we're still strong for it. So thanks again, Erika, for inviting me. Thanks again, Cheyenne, for inviting me. And everybody who's out there listening to this, I really hope that you guys either get back to the person who invited you or take the product yourself. But just thank you.
Pastor Carole, you are awesome. And I'm so happy you came to that conference and we were able to meet each other. I love my team. I love these people. They are just, they're They're jewels, they're gems, they're the purple marbles that everybody is looking for in their lives. And thank you so much. Carole, thank you for allowing us to share our stories tonight. And if anybody has any questions, they could write it into the chat and we'll answer as many questions as we get.
Thank you guys so much. We're here every Thursday night sharing stories. I'm going to stop this recording really quick and we're going to find Cheryl Cord